She no longer asked for anything. Not attention, not gifts. Just a glance. She sat in the brown armchair, near the front door of the nursing home, every Sunday at the same time. Her eyes fixed as if waiting for a train that would never come again. The caregiver, already used to the scene, whispered softly, "She's always waiting for someone, but no one ever comes." That Sunday she was quieter than usual. She didn't eat, didn't speak. She just mumbled, her voice barely audible, "I think they've forgotten me here." 3 days later she passed. No fuss, no goodbyes. She simply left. And the saddest part wasn't her death. It was the life spent waiting to be remembered by someone. Do you know someone who was forgotten like this, while still alive? Share in the comments. Sometimes speaking out is a way to remember those no one else does. Inside nursing homes there's a kind of noise that no one hears. It's the sound of memories that won't come back. The creak of a wheelchair slowly being pushed. The sound of a spoon tapping a plate, in silence. And most of all, the echo of emptiness in the hallways. These places are full of voices that were once heard with love, and are now treated like tasks. They don't complain. They don't demand. They just look, wait, breathe. But every silent gesture carries a scream inside. I'm still here, does anyone see me? And perhaps the cruelest part of it all isn't the physical abandonment. It's the emotional abandonment. When the body is present, but the soul has already been forgotten. And you? Have you ever noticed this kind of silence in someone close to you? Write it in the comments. Sometimes a simple acknowledgement can change everything. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. she would comb her hair, put on perfume and wait. Always wearing the same blue dress, her grandson's favorite. She'd tell the nurse, "He's coming today. He promised." But the minutes turned into hours, and the day would end. No one showed up. She'd walk slowly back to her room, trying to hide the disappointment behind a forced smile. In the beginning she still defended him. Maybe something came up. Later she started saying, "He must be really busy." Until one day she stopped talking about him altogether. But she kept getting ready. As if hope was the only medicine she had left. And you know what hurts more than being forgotten? It's still loving someone who has already forgotten you. Do you know someone who waits for someone, even knowing they might never come? Comment below. Sometimes this story is closer than we think. Back then, that face used to receive goodnight kisses, the gentle touch of children, tight hugs at Christmas. Today it's there, wrinkled, quiet, forgotten. She runs her hands over her own face as if trying to remember what it was like to be loved. One of the caregivers said she used to murmur, "I miss when someone would touch me without rushing." In nursing homes, touch has become a routine. Baths, medicine, diapers. But affection? That's disappeared. The kind of touch that comforts, that embraces, that says, "You still matter," that has vanished. It's not just the absence of family that hurts. It's the absence of affection, of skin, of connection. Because humans might endure pain. But the abandonment of touch, that weakens the soul. Have you hugged someone today? Have you touched someone without rushing? Maybe that simple gesture is saving someone inside. Comment below. Who will you hug today? Before, Grandma kept every letter from her grandson with almost sacred care. Those yellowed sheets were her connection to the outside world, her hope. She would reread every word several times, smiling to herself. But over time the letters stopped coming. Cell phones, the internet, and the rush of modern life replaced handwritten affection. And instead of letters came short messages, sometimes not even answered. What hurts most is knowing she still waits for a word, a phrase, a sign that she is still remembered. And on that old wooden table, the letters gather dust while the silence grows. Have you ever lost touch with someone important? Have you ever failed to send a message that could change everything? Comment below and tag someone who deserves to hear a word from you today. She clearly remembered the promises made during the last family gatherings. "I'll visit you every month," her son said, with a smile that now seems so distant. "Don't worry, Mom, you'll never be alone." But the months passed and the promise quietly broke, so slowly it seemed no one noticed. The phone that once rang regularly was now silent. The door that once opened with hope remained closed. The greatest pain wasn't just the physical absence, but the feeling of being forgotten. As if she no longer mattered, as if love was just an empty word. And you, have you ever made a promise you couldn't keep? Have you felt the weight of silence after saying, "I'll come back"? Comment below. Have you ever broken an important promise? How did you deal with it? Your comment might help someone going through the same pain. Time kept running, indifferent to what was happening in that silent house. For her, every second felt like an eternity of waiting, hope, and, at the same time, loneliness. Days passed, seasons changed, but nothing changed inside that room. The clock on the wall marked the hours, but for her, time seemed frozen, trapped in that moment when someone promised to return but never did. Each tick-tock was a cruel reminder of what was lost, of what would never be again. And the saddest part? Time doesn't forgive, doesn't wait, doesn't turn back. Have you ever felt like time is passing too fast and you're not cherishing the people you love? Comment below if you've ever noticed this. Your comment might be the wake-up call for someone letting time slip away without valuing those by their side. In that nursing home, the silence was almost tangible. It wasn't the comfortable silence of a peaceful house, but a silence heavy with absence. Conversations that never happen, eyes avoiding meeting. She would sit in her chair, staring at the emptiness of the room, hearing only the sound of her own heart beating louder inside the loneliness. The silence was a muffled scream that no one seemed to hear. Sometimes a simple hello would be enough to break that invisible barrier holding back emotions. But most days, silence was the only companion. If you've ever experienced this or know someone who lives with this silence, leave a like to show that this cause matters. We need to talk more, listen more, and, above all, be more present. Despite all the pain and abandonment, there was something still shining inside her, a silent but steadfast hope. Even on the hardest days, she believed that someone would come back, that life could still bring a gesture of affection, an unexpected visit, a touch of love. That hope was like a faint light in the darkness, a breath of life that refused to fade. She clung to that faith, even as her body weakened and her mind seemed ready to give up. And that strength she held on to, even amidst abandonment, reminds us that no matter how hard it gets, we must never lose hope. Have you ever had to hold on to hope when everything seemed lost? Share your story in the comments. Your story could inspire someone going through the same struggle. She left quietly, without a final embrace, without a word of farewell. Her son wasn't there to hold her hand, to tell her how much he loved her, or to ask for forgiveness for his absences. What remained was the emptiness of a goodbye that never happened, an unspoken farewell that weighed heavily on the heart of those left behind. And this absence in the final moment is what hurts the most, because it blocks healing, leaves questions unanswered, and guilt settles silently. Have you ever lost someone without being able to say everything you wanted? Share your experience in the comments. Your story can help others understand that forgiveness and love need to be expressed before it's too late. Even in the absence of words and gestures, her silence spoke volumes. It left a powerful lesson, the importance of being present, not just physically but emotionally. She showed that true connection goes beyond physical proximity, it's about being truly available to listen, understand, and love. And that emotional absence can be as painful as physical absence. This lesson is often only realized when it's already too late. What have you learned from your own absences or presences? Share your insights in the comments so we can grow together. This story doesn't have to be your reality or that of someone you love. There's still time to change the course, to turn silence into conversation, absence into presence, pain into care. Every small gesture matters. A phone call, a visit, a sincere hug, and "I'm here for you." These simple acts can save lives, heal hearts, and create memories that last forever. So, what will you do today to truly be present in the life of someone you love? Comment below and tag that special person who needs to hear this message. Don't wait for silence to become the final scream. Be the change now. If this story touched you, don't let it go unnoticed. Like the video to show you care, share it so more people can reflect on the value of emotional presence, and leave a comment telling us what small action you can take today to transform a life. And if you're not subscribed yet, click the subscribe button and activate the notification bell so you never miss content that can change the way you see relationships in life. Together, let's build a world with more connection and true love. Don't wait for silence to turn into a scream, be the presence that makes a difference now.